Chapter 6, Urinary System. In Chapter 6, we're going to pronounce organs and anatomical structures in the system. We're going to define and spell word parts related to the system. We're going to also define, pronounce, and spell disease and disorder terms, and also surgical terms related to urinary system. Functions of the urinary system include removing waste materials from the body, regulating the fluid volume, maintaining electrolyte concentration in body fluid, and assisting in blood pressure regulation. This is a graphic of a cross-section of from a side view of the male and female urinary system. And if of keynote here, look at the difference in the length of the urethra on the female versus the urethra on the male, and that'll be a key point in a couple of minutes. Looking at the structures, we have the kidneys, which are two bean-shaped structures. We have the ureter, which is the tube that comes from the kidney down to the urinary bladder, and the bladder is basically our holding tank. And then from the bladder, you have the urethra, which extends down to the urinary meatus, which is where urine is expelled from the body. So urine production begins in the kidney. It has the renal pelvis here, which is where it is collected. Then it passes down through the ureter into the urinary bladder, where it holds for a time being until we want to urinate or feel the need to. And then it goes down through the urethra, through the urinary meatus, and to the outside. The female urethra is about 1.5 inches long, and the male is about 8 inches long. And this is a key importance because the largest cause of urinary tract infections is contamination from bacteria, and the length of the urinary system of the female in the structure of the urethra and the fact that it is short and its proximity is close to the anus, that puts females at a much higher risk of developing urinary tract infections. Looking at the anatomical structures and combining forms of the urinary tract system, we have the kidney, which is the terms here that we see used very frequently is nephro and reno, and these are, again, very common terms. Nephron is also a term that we use in the urinary tract system. Nephron is the urine-producing microscopic structure of the kidney. It's about 1 million of those to each kidney. We also may see them referred to as the functional unit of the kidney. Then there's the glomerulus, which is a cluster of capillaries at the beginning of the nephron, and that is where blood is filtered, and that's where the start of the urine production begins. And then there's the renal pelvis, and that is a reservoir. It's kind of funnel shaped, and it collects urine until it passes down into the ureter. The hilum is an indentation in essentially the median or the middle part of the kidney, and it's where the renal artery, vein, and pelvis connect, and it's also where the ureter connects that leaves the kidney and extends down into the bladder. Some combining forms include ureters, and the combining form there is uretero. Urinary bladder is cysto or vesiculo, sorry. Urethra is urethro, and urinary meatus is meato. Some combining forms in the system include albumino, and that it means albumin. Blasto means germ cell or developing cell. Glycoso is sugar. Nocto is night, and uro and urino are urine or urinary tract. Prefixes that we see are a, and when you see the letter a or an, that is going to be absence of or without, and you may see that in different systems. Dis is another one you may see in different systems. That means painful, abnormal, difficult, or labored. Poly means many or much, and trans means through, across, or beyond. Suffixes we see are seal, which means a hernia or protrusion. Lysis means dissolution or loosening or separating. Pexy means a surgical fixation. Stenosis is a constriction or narrowing. And tripsy is a surgical crushing. Looking at some disease and disorder terms that are constructed from word parts, we have cystolith. Lith means stone, and cysto means bladder, so this means a stone in the bladder. Nephroptosis is drooping of the kidney, and optosis tells us it's drooping. Nephro tells us it's kidney. Pyelonephritis. Pyelo refers to the renal pelvis, and nephro to the kidney. Itis refers to inflammation. So this is a inflammation of the renal pelvis and kidney. Nephromegaly. Megaly is enlargement. Nephro is kidney, so this is enlargement in the kidney. And megaly is also used as a suffix in several other body systems as well. Vesical ureteral reflux is reflux of the bladder and the ureter, and this is where urine wants to backflow into the kidney.